Hello, good morning. For today's video, we will be doing full garden tour and we will also be harvesting some vegetables. So we are starting here at the back where we have our two raised beds. And as you can see, we have here 8 apricot zebra tomatoes in this first raised bed, and most of the leaves were affected by spider mites. So what we are doing is we will be harvesting all the tomatoes and then we will be removing the plants. We have been spraying these plants with the neem oil and castor soap, but it seems it's not working. So we might as well remove it because it's affecting the other plants. This is our problem during hot weather, spider mites. We are going through constant battle with these spider mites every summer. So what we are doing is we are planting a lot so that if some plants die from spider mites, we still have some other vegetable plants to harvest. These apricot zebras are very tasty. They are very good for snacking. The fruit goes to a golf ball size. It's meaty. It's not that juicy. It's crunchy and it's very sweet. When the fruit turns green yellowish color, that's the perfect time to harvest them for snacking because they're very sweet. But once the fruit turns yellow, it has a tang taste to it. This is pretty good adding to salad. This tomato is indeterminate and it produces loads of tomatoes. And once the weather starts to heat up, you have to be on top on harvesting. And as I said before, this variety of tomato is always present in the garden because it's very tasty. And as of these green tomatoes, we'll leave it in the counter to ripen. In this second raised bed, we have 4 Better Boy tomato, which Carlos is already harvesting these ripe tomatoes from these plants. We also have 4 apricot zebra tomatoes in this raised bed, and there are loads of tomatoes in it. So far, the plants in this second raised bed is not affected by spider mites. So hopefully they'll be able to grow through summer. We still have our 2 gourd plants here, which we heavily pruned last time. And as you can see, it's already producing some female flowers. And we have few more tomatoes that are left in these 4 Better Boy plants. We have our cantaloupe, sweet Johnny cantaloupes, which we are waiting for them to ripen before we can harvest it. And we have our chayote. We have 2 plants of chayote in this raised bed. And I'm surprised that they are able to withstand the heat. As for our 4 apricot zebra tomatoes, there are still loads of tomatoes in these 4 plants. This variety of tomatoes are heavy producers, and they keep producing as long as they are fed and watered properly. We have here Nagasaki long eggplant in this 7-gallon container. We planted 2 Roma tomatoes in this 27-gallon container, which is already producing some fruits. As you can see, this plant looks very healthy, very lush. Because what I'm doing is I am burying some fermented food scraps in these containers, which is feeding the worms, and in turn, the worm poop is feeding the plants. Look at that, it's very lush. We have here 3 sunflowers. These are Elijah's plants, and they are already flowering. I don't know what's the variety of these sunflowers because they have small heads compared to the mammoth sunflowers that we harvested. Kentucky bush beans in this 227-gallon container, and they are ready for harvest. We are harvesting them at least 4 to 6 inches long when they are young and tender.
Whoa, we got lots of beans. Let's get some.
Shade cloth back in because these containers dry up pretty fast. At the back of these bins, we have here Roma tomatoes, which are already producing some fruits. We have here Armenian cucumber. This variety of cucumber is very heat tolerant. And we have been harvesting loads of cucumber from this plant. Right now, we are harvesting them young because the ones that we harvested are huge and they tend to get bitter. So we'll try harvesting the young ones to see if they are more sweeter, more crispier, crunchier, more tastier. And we still have loads of cucumber fruits in these 2 plants. We have 2 butternut squash plants in this area. The first plant has already produced 2 fruits which we pollinated. But the second one has no female flowers coming out yet. Next to these plants are some sweet Jenny cantaloupe plants. We have 3 that we planted in this area. And we have second Roma tomato in this area, which is also producing some fruits. These Roma tomatoes are always present in the garden because this is my wife's favorite tomato. And the other night we've been catching some hornworms from these tomato plants. This one is Jubilee watermelon. And this is Sweet Mama Kabucha squash or calabasa. So it has 1 fruit already. And we will let this plant climb up this trellis. It will share the trellis with this butternut squash and cucumber. These are Kentucky bush beans planted in this area. And along with it, we planted some corn. Hopefully, these beans will be able to fix the nitrogen in the soil because as we all know, corn loves nitrogen. We have here Better Boy tomato. The other night, this was infested with hornworms, so I picked them all up and I sprayed the plants. This Better Boy tomato produced a huge sized tomatoes.
Oh, that looks like a worm or a rat eating.
This is a Thai chili pepper which are loaded with pepper fruit. Let's just harvest the ripe ones because if they stay longer in the plants, they dried up. We have here 2 Nagasaki long eggplant in this area, and we've been harvesting eggplants in these 2 plants already. These are butternut squash. We have 3 fruits here that we are waiting for the stem or for the trendles to dry up before we can harvest them. And there's another one here that we recently pollinated. These are Roma tomatoes that are going above the trellis. We have here sweet mama kabucha calabasa or squash that is planted in this area. And we have 1 female flower that are waiting for it to bloom before we can manually pollinate it. More cantaloupe. There are lots of cantaloupe plants spread in the garden. And at the back, if you notice, we have 2 Roma tomatoes. This is a Jubilee watermelon that is not growing. I don't know why that plant is stunted. These Roma tomatoes have loads of tomatoes already. Another Better Boy tomato. So we'll just remove the leaves that are affected with spider mites before they can infest the whole plant. And we have here 2 stems that we are guiding in this wire as their trellis. Another sweet mama kabucha. Under this another trellis, we have 6 San Marzano tomatoes which are loaded with tomatoes. That's a lot. This is our first time planting this variety of tomatoes. And I've heard that this is good for making tomato sauce, because most of the tomatoes that we harvest in the garden, we make tomato sauce out of it. And another Nagasaki long eggplant at the back. On the trellis, we have butternut squash. We have few squashes that we are waiting for the trendles to turn brown, like this one that is almost ready before we can harvest it. In that way, we can store it for a longer period of time. But if we needed squash in the kitchen, we will just harvest anytime. So what we are doing here is we are removing the dead leaves and also some few leaves that are infested with powdery mildew. This is a raspberry liana tomato. And as you can see, the plant is infested with spider mites. So what we will do is we will harvest all the tomatoes and we will remove the plants, because the spider mite from this plant is spreading from the other tomatoes. Next, we will direct sow zucchini. In this area, we have few plants. We have here 2 sweet Jenny cantaloupe, which are loaded with cantaloupe fruit. We have been harvesting already some cantaloupes in this area. And we still have few cantaloupe fruits that are left in these two plants. Under the trellis, we have 16 okra. This is our first time harvesting from these okra plants. We also have some sweet potato. It's a volunteer sweet potato under. And we have some butternut squash that are climbing in this trellis. We have total of three butternut squash planted in this area. And we already have some squash that were pollinated. These are sweet Jenny cantaloupe as well. We have 4 plants in this area. Another raspberry Liana tomato that are severely infested with spider mites. Same thing, we'll remove the plants, harvest all the tomatoes, and we will direct sow zucchini. We have here Nagasaki long eggplant, and behind it is a lemongrass. These are corn. In this area, we have also okra. And we have here our sweet Jenny cantaloupes. So all the plants have fruits already. We're just waiting for them to ripen. We will direct sow some pole beans, Kentucky pole beans, along with this sweet Jenny cantaloupe, so that once these cantaloupes are all done bearing fruits, these pole beans are already started to climb the trellis. We have here another Better Boy tomato. We'll just harvest all the fruits and we will remove the plant as well. This was also killed by spider mite. This one is orange bite sweet pepper and is already bear fruit. Jalapeno, it's still producing. We have few jalapeno peppers in this plant. This is a King of the North sweet pepper. Another Thai chili pepper. I covered this King of the North sweet pepper because they are being stressed by the intense heat. And more Thai chili pepper. We have here our second plant of lemongrass. In the patio area, we have here zucchini in this 27-gallon container. I sprayed this last night because it was affected by powdery mildew. This is a King of the North sweet pepper. It's a bell pepper, which has already fruits in this one plant. This is planted in this 5-gallon container. We have here corbachi pepper. This is our first time planting this pepper. So I'm so excited what's the taste of this pepper. The reviews says that it is very sweet and it's not that spicy. As you can see, the leaves were eaten by worms. But I sprayed this one already last night with BT. We have here zucchini that is planted in this 7-gallon pot. Same thing here, zucchini. This is a Nagasaki long eggplant in this 5-gallon container. And it has already a fruit that has been pollinated. So this is the first time that is bearing fruit. In this 15-gallon container is a King of the North sweet pepper, bell pepper. It started bearing fruit as well. We also have here another King of the North sweet pepper that bears fruit as well. If you remember, we have here Better Boy tomato that was planted in this pot, but we removed it because it was severely infested with spider mites. So we planted these 2 zucchini plants in this 15-gallon container. These are zinnia flowers. In this trellis, we have butternut squash planted in these 2 7-gallon grow bags, which has 1 fruit in each plant. In the front, we have here raspberry liana tomato that are also severely infested with spider mite, which is affecting this Nagasaki long eggplant. This is also being attacked by spider mites. This is another raspberry liana tomato, and as you can see, it's also infested with spider mites. Same thing, we will harvest all the tomatoes and remove the plants. And we will direct sow zucchini. We've been spraying the garden with neem oil and castor soap. But for some reason, spider mites are not being controlled. We have here zinnia flowers that are looking so beautiful. These flowers are surely loving the heat. This is a sweet mama kabocha, which is showing some growth, some new growth. Because if you remember, these tomatoes, eggplants in this calabaza or the squash are being stunted by the sunflowers. Before, we have 5 sunflowers in this area. We already removed those plants. We harvested the heads. We applied some fertilizer on these tomatoes and eggplants, and as well as the calabaza plants. And as you can see, these plants are already thriving. These tomatoes are showing a lot of growth. There's a lot of suckers coming out. So what we will do is we will just remove the suckers and we will just maintain 1 or 2 stems. And these Nagasaki long eggplants are already producing some eggplants. That's pretty good. So it's a good decision to remove all those sunflowers because it's pretty obvious that they were preventing these plants from growing. So next season, we will only plant sunflower by itself. It's pretty amazing looking at these plants, these tomatoes and eggplants thriving, growing, showing a lot of growth. That's what I love about gardening because it improves my problem-solving skills. Next, we have here 1 green zucchini planted in this area. And we have here 1 female flower that we are going to manually pollinate. So we will just get the male flower, the one with the skinny stem, and gently rub it into the female flower. Behind these zinnia plants or zinnia flowers, we have 2 Hills jumbo cantaloupe that bears 1 fruit in each plant. We are still waiting for them to ripen. Under the rose tree, we have here Hills jumbo cantaloupe, and this one is already ripe, so let's harvest it. And there's still 2 more cantaloupe fruit that are left in this one plant. For this another cantaloupe fruit, give or take 1 more week before this will be ready for harvest. We have here more marigolds that are all blooming. This is a icebox watermelon. This is a butternut squash that we are guiding in this tree, which will serve as its trellis. Lemon, we have few lemon fruits in this plant. And if you remember our bird feeder, that was the sunflower seeds that we last harvested. This is a Haas avocado that is planted in this 25-gallon container. We are putting this shade cloth, 60% shade cloth, because the temperature has been consistently high 90s. Nagasaki long eggplant, looking very healthy, which has lots of fruits in this one plant. And this is a sweet mama kabucha calabasa. Before, this has 5 fruits or 5 calabasa in this plant. But 1 calabasa has rotten, and the 2 calabasa fruits, we gave it to our aunts that came to visit last week. So these plants are severely infested with powdery mildew. I'm not spraying it anymore. I'm just waiting for those 2 calabasas to be ready for harvest before I can remove the plant. In this area are 6 Nagasaki long eggplant that has been consistently producing some eggplants. This raised bed was planted with 2 icicle or icebox watermelon. These 6 eggplants are loaded with eggplant fruits. As I've said, it has been consistently producing. We have been harvesting a lot of eggplants from the 6 plant. Next, we have few okra planted in this area. And as I've said, we have to be on top of harvesting, because once these okra fruits become mature, they tend to be hard and woody. They're very tasty, especially if harvested at the right time. By the way, the variety of this okra is called emerald okra. And I believe we have 7 or 8 okra plants that were planted in this area. These okra were infested with black aphids. I've been spraying this with neem oil and castor soap, but for some reason, they were not being eliminated. We have here Jubilee watermelon. In this second raised bed, we haven't planted anything, so we will just plant these lima beans, which will serve as a cover crop. These lima beans are bush beans, so we don't have to put some trellis on it. Lastly, we have our raspberry Liana tomato that were planted in this area. We have 3 plants, and these plants have been producing huge tomatoes. And they are very sweet as well, so they are very good for making sauce. As I've said, we let these plants grow wild as long as it's not being affected by diseases or infested with pests. As a Filipino, one of my childhood memories was helping my parents in the garden during weekends. All of us, we go to the garden, we plant beans, peanuts, sweet potato, and some vegetables. And I'm so happy that I'm doing this gardening now. We are all done with our garden tour and we harvested beans, okra, eggplant, cucumber, butternut squash, pepper, and loads of tomatoes. Next video, we will be using these vegetables to cook dishes in the kitchen and tomato sauce. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time. You take care always, and God bless you all.